Hey there, Virgo. This is Chronic Joy Tarot. We're going to do a reading for you for Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And then, of course, anyone else who's drawn here. You may have particular Virgo energies today. While I shuffle off camera, I always call in the energy of any given sign. And we pull an oracle card and then do the Zen tarot spread reading. If you're new to my channel, just know that the way that I read isn't very typical, I guess, from what I've been told. And what I can tell, I don't really focus on others or situations or, you know, specific situations in your life. I focus more on you, your soul, and what can be done to continue to grow and expand. And then we choose an oracle card every reading to find a topic to align with. It's aspect of yourself that we want to work on. Okay? So the card I pulled for you guys is Freedom. Love it. I love this. I get a sense that there, for sure, you know, there are some that have a situation or a pattern of thought that feels restrictive. You know, it could be a job, could be a relationship, could be an attitude that you have towards something that feels limiting. And this reading and this guidance is going to help you learn to release that restriction, maybe bypass it, maybe walk away. If it's a job, you know, maybe start looking for another, whatever, or maybe find conditions within the working conditions that you can modify to feel more free, whatever this is. But we're going to find, and one of the top things that I get when I pull this is that there's something within you that you're ready to transform. A way that you see things, or an attitude that you hold, or thoughts that have been weighing you down, and that feels restrictive, that feels a little heavy. I'm really feeling that for a lot of you, that's what this is. It's not really a physical situation or even a relationship with another. It could be, but I really feel that all the work it starts within you. Even if it is a situation that's manifested in your life that feels restrictive, the work starts within you, and that's what we're going to do here. The Zen tarot spread that I'm using is called the Tree. I made this one up. This level of branches here is where we start, and then we have a key energy that we need in order to move forward and get to a higher level of understanding. Okay, so your starting point, well, look at that. Change. Time for change. So if we do have a situation where we don't feel quite free to be our full authentic self, it's time to shift that for sure. Okay? And the key to this is going to be not reaching out and getting others involved and trying to, like I said, this is an inside job. This is going to start within. If you were hanging on to the outside of this spinning wheel, you'd quite easily and quite quickly get dizzy and maybe even get flung off, right? But if you learn to just pull in and rest right in the center there where the yin-yang symbol is, where if you learn to just pull within, gather yourself, and be still deep within, all that spinning and all that shifting that's going on won't toss you around. It will happen. The change will occur, but it won't feel as dramatic. Okay, so we're going to learn where we can identify within us certain aspects that we can shift ourselves, right? And then sit with that and trust it. Okay, internal support, internal energy that supports this, the card of change as it relates to your personal freedom, is rightness. Oh yes, the time is right. It's right. It is time to make this shift. It is time to bypass some of these restrictions that you're feeling. If this is a recurring attitude maybe, you know, I'm going to just be really flippant and just say you don't love, you know, beige dogs. I don't know. Like, you know, you don't love dogs that aren't spotted or something. And you just can't stand it. You don't like beige dogs. You don't like plain beige dogs. You want dogs that have colorful fur, or, you know, different contrast colors of fur. Well, that's your, like, it has not, the dog isn't affected, right, by your attitude toward it. Only you are. And that is restrictive, because then maybe there's the most lovely, friendly, beautiful beige dog waiting to be friends with you, right? I know this is very flippant, but do you understand what I'm trying to say? I don't want to get too heavy, because I just want to give that sort of template in how to shift it. So realizing that your attitude towards something really only affects you. It could harm you, it could enhance you, whatever your attitude may be, but it doesn't really affect anyone else, as far as like that they could change, right? For the most part, I'm not talking about nuances of others' personalities. I'm talking about attitudes that you may have that are really restrictive, that don't need to be. Okay. Okay, externally, so we do know the change is coming, or it is a perfect time to make a shift for you within, okay? And externally, in your external world, yeah, if you don't make this shift, it shows up as exhaustion. You're going to spend too much time needing things to be a certain way, or having this hard-lined attitude towards something, and it's only going, like I said, it's only going to affect you. It's going to end up wiping you out, wiping out your relationships, or whatever, right? This isn't saying, oh, there's something wrong with you, Virgo. No, 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 no. Because I can take this same reading, and I can find aspects of myself that do need to soften, right? And the way I see things that do need to sort of shift. So this is just a matter of finding that honesty within you. Maybe more of an objective, like step back and see that the way you are engaging in certain things is really almost harming you, and then pull away. I mean, this could also be a relationship you have with substance, right? It could be that. It could be you're a workaholic. It could be, you know, any kind of a aspect of you that's not enhancing your life. It's getting you through it, but it's not really giving you that full sense of freedom that all of our souls desire in life. Okay? So, and, you know, again, like I said, there's nothing wrong. You know, everyone does as they do, you know, according to what they know. And this reading is just sort of asking you to shake it up a little bit and see another way of knowing, right? Learn more so that you can elevate the way you see or the way you engage, and expand and become more full, right? And more free. Yeah, okay. So moving forward, the energy to really consider in order to really elevate this, yeah, is creativity. I love that. This comes, I'm going to feel that this is like your, you know, lower chakras, second and third chakras, your that gut feeling that you have, that area down there that within you that just knows there's another way, and it inspires you to find another way to go about, you know, the way that we're doing things here. So maybe if you well, let's get to this level. Let me just see what we've got. Yeah, see? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So we had this exhaustion card. We're talking about maybe making a shift to bypass some restrictive, heavy feelings, and, you know, calling for a little bit of creative inspiration from within in order to bring this change about and bring about the freedom. And I feel that without that key, that turn, that determination to just make this change happen, without that, you'll end up in sorrow because the exhaustion will wipe you out. But I think with it and being able to apply the change and really see, okay, this isn't serving me, this is only harming me, you'll alleviate yourself from a lot of sorrow, a lot of sadness, a lot of sense of what could have been, right? Just by taking, I mean, it could be the smallest shift. Like I said, it could be that you're a workaholic and then you decide, you know what, yes, I'm a workaholic. I get a lot done. My bosses love it. My company loves it. I'm so productive. But what is it doing to me? How is that serving me? You know, I can still put in the required amount of hours and, you know, be productive. I still can. I don't have to have work on my mind 24/7, right? It's wiping me out. So, you know, I've got to shift that, right? So, so yeah, being able to come up with ways, and this could come, you know, look for signs, you know, while you're out. You could look for signs of, you know, in nature. I love to look on, you know, for like pebbles or feathers or anything that's, you know, something that's shaped like a heart, a stain on the sidewalk that's shaped like a heart. Those are signs to me. Those are inspiring to me, that make me realize I am spirit moving through this, you know, physical plane. I am spirit, and I connect to the unseen. I connect to things that aren't as obvious to everyone, right? And those are my little messages. So finding, you know, staying open and receptive to messages that come are going to be key. It will help you avoid the exhaustion, and it will help you avoid later, you know, in the future, a space of sorrow. Within you and internally, you know this. You know intuitively that it's time for this change. That way of doing things, that restrictive way, that sort of chains that held you down, you know, figuratively, is done. You're done. It's time to make a shift. And you know this within. It's just a matter of listening for the signs, being receptive, being gentle enough with yourself to make progress at your own pace, even if it doesn't feel like it's immediate progress. You know, just knowing within that it's time, and then looking for ways to shift and move out from these restrictions is progress, right? Just the acknowledgement of it. And then what will happen is, as a result of this work that you're going to be doing, is you will find a new sense of seeing, a new way of viewing your life with that sort of childlike wonder, this sense of innocence, almost like going back to when you were a kid. And, you know, this wise old sage here has seen and done it all. He knows all the answers, right, to many around him. That's how they see him. Yet, as he engages with this grasshopper, he's just amazed by it. He's in awe of its, you know, the way, you know, his little head. You could see his little head. Look, oh my God, it's so cute looking at him. So this wise old man has found a way to find freshness in the smallest things in life. And this is what will come about for you. And there is loads of freedom in that. Tons of freedom in this kind of an attitude toward life. Everything's new, as if you're seeing it for the first time. And things will become clearer. And as long as you keep your heart open and willing to shift with the movement, you'll soon find you're transformed. You're operating at a whole new level. Okay? And then the outcome cards here, look at that. Abundance. I love it. And comparison. So this is kind of keeping you in check, this comparison card. It's reminding you that your way works for you, but it may not work for others, and it may not work for you indefinitely, right? So it's really a check and balance or whatever to keep you on your toes in these lower energies, feeling when a shift comes, feeling when you're willing to go along with a change and drop some of your old restrictions, drop some of your old attitudes, maybe drop the rope if you're in a tug of war with another person, drop that rope. It's, there's always a new creative way to resolve things if you feel strongly enough about it. And ultimately you're left in just the richness of life. Your relationships become much more abundant and connective and fulfilling. The way you see things, bouncing off of this innocence card, the way you see life becomes much more beautiful and color-filled, and just you see more possibilities. So that's the result of this work that you're doing down below here. This shift away from the stranglehold kind of whatever this situation is for you. When you first saw this freedom card, you probably came up with something in mind that made you think, oh yeah, that feels really restrictive. So whatever that situation is for you, it can be transformed. It can make a shift. And it starts with you. It starts within you, that knowing internally that the time for a change has come, and being able to see things freshly and drop the old ways. That's what we do through life. We don't become one way and then stay that way forever. We must keep evolving, or where is the freedom in that, right? We must keep changing and shifting. Okay, Virgo, I was so happy to be here with you. I wasn't here last month. It got insane in my life. I have this really busy day gig, and it's getting busier, but I'm still trying to find as much time as I can for these readings, okay? I'm considering maybe in 2019 to maybe do away with the specific sign only readings, because I have to do 12 of these at a time, right? And I video them straight through. It takes, each one takes a while. So I'm considering shifting from that format and being able to maybe do one a week in just one aspect, since this guidance is, soul based. It might work to do one a week and not really focus on specific astro signs. We'll see how it evolves for me as well. Okay, because for me, the freedom in being able to do it in another way might be what I need. The 12 a month may be becoming restrictive for me. I'm not saying I'm going to stop, but I'm just trying to think of ways I can continue to have more consistent content to you. Okay, that's enough of that. I love you guys so, so much, and I will talk to you next time. Okay, bye, Virgo.